All right. So is it Math 335? Day 11. Ninth day of lecture. And we finished working with radical expressions. That's what we did in class last time. Let's work on that. If I have the cube root of x to the 7th power, y to the 9th power, how does this simplify? Any ideas? Well, we can group these x's up into groups of 3. X cubed, and 3 plus 3 is 6. I've got 1 left over, x to the 1st power. And do the same thing with the y's. Y cubed, and this one actually goes straight to y cubed. Hey, it is someday. I haven't watched the video yet, but I sent someone a meme with the camel the other, it was like a few hours ago. All right, so each one that makes a full cube, the 3 matches the exponent out here, means I can pull one out front. This one means I can pull another one out front. That one does not have a 3, so it's got to stay inside. This has got a 3, this has got a 3, and that's got a 3. So those can each come out, but only with a single exponent. And we still have cube root of whatever we did design in the box, x. And so I will rewrite this as x squared y cubed cube root of x. I really don't think this is the easiest way to do this though. I really think this is much easier if you get used to switching this to fractions in the exponent. I'm going to redo the same thing by doing that. Another way to rewrite this is x to the 7th power over 3 and y to the 9th power over 3. Seven divided by 3 is 2 1/3. Y with 9 divided by 3 is just 3. It's important to recall that like having a mixed fraction like that, 2 1/3, really means 2 plus 1/3. They're not multiplied together. It's a whole number and a fraction. So this is x squared times x to the 1/3. Because we can do that adding thing, we're just undoing the adding of the exponents right here. And these two have whole numbers, so they're just whole numbers. And the x to the 1/3, the 3 tells it to cube root, and the number on top is the exponent. And we get what we had here. And if your fraction skills are weak, like going from 7/3 to 2 1/3, first off, like fucking practice that shit, look up some videos on YouTube. Until you get it down, cause like if you can't handle the fractions now, like the fractions are gonna fucking destroy you later on. Okay? But in the meantime, I can also do 3 goes into 7. And it goes in twice. 2 times 3 is 6, and I have a remainder of 1. So even if you wrote this as x with 2 remainder 1 and y to the 3rd power. The remainder tells us it, in fact, this is pretty handy. This is fucking clever. Remainder means that in this case, means it remains in the radical. So the remainder is the only one that's gonna end up in the radical. The rest will stay outside. X squared y cubed. The radical was a cube root, so we're gonna just bring the cube root back. And we have a remainder of 1, and it was the exponent on it. Now that'll get you by the mixed fractions for now. But like, if you're gonna go on to trigonometry and then calculus. You gotta shore up those basic math skills, get them down pat. If you need to, fucking flashcard the shit out of like if your multiplication table is weak. You could totally make flashcards with a multiplication table. Then like you could do flashcards with division as well. But once you mastered the multiplication table, division is just going the other direction. So nice of you to show up, Eric. Just fucking whenever you want.
I get off work. Supposed to get off work at 2:30, but. Sometimes they, warehouse work is.
Right? There you work till the job's done, buddy.
Yeah. So that's why I'm here.
I'm just fucking with you.
Tired. It's good money, but. Worth it sometimes. Yeah. I work the time.
Warehouse work is hot fucking work. I feel like it cannot be pleasant right now.
Well, I mean. I drive a forklift, so. I'm in the cold block, so it's cold.
Oh, not bad, okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And you're doing a forklift, so you're not even actually lifting shit.
Yeah, well, there's times where I gotta get up,
Right,
but I mean, it's not,
it's not the whole time.
yeah, it's not the whole time. But it's just, there'll be days where, hey, guys, mandatory 4 hours, sorry. Right, right when it's 2 o'clock, you're like.
How about you say mandatory 4 hours for the people that are walking in the next shift?
Yeah.
Right?
But, well, they say they're saying too. Yeah, how do I know?
Right. That's okay, even when, if you have to miss this, it's recording. Alright. Were you done with that page?
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's do another. Let's do, similar to that line. There we go. Try working that one out. But making sure everyone starts at the same spot. If I don't see a number with the radical sign, what's the number?
2.
2. So missing number means a 2 right there. Alright, so what did you guys try?
A squared times A squared for the. A to the fourth,
Okay,
B squared times B squared times B,
okay,
C squared times C squared times C squared,
okay,
and then. D squared times D squared times D squared times D.
okay,
And since it's a square root, we pull both A's out.
okay, so these come out,
Yeah.
what do I put over here?
A squared. And then we pull two B's out,
And what's this leave over here?
B squared.
So when you're saying pull out two B's, you're meaning B times B
Yeah,
and A times A.
right.
I figured that's what you meant, but I wanna make sure.
And then, I could pull all of the C's out. So then it would be C times C times C, which is C cubed. And then I could pull three of the D's out. Yeah,
And what's left over?
the square root of ED.
B, D, those are the only ones that are not, I mean, we'll put circles around them. Those are the only ones that didn't make it, so B, D. Yeah, exactly it. If you do it a different way, the other of you, Alberto, Drew, Pedro. As long as you get this answer, you're doing good.
Yeah, I did it the same way and got the same answer.
Okay, let's kick it up a notch. How'd you do, Drew?
Yeah, I got that same answer.
Okay.
I did it the same way.
Is everyone done? Or as far as you can go? Alright, what do I do here?
Can you combine them inside?
You can. In fact, that's the right strategy to go with. Or a very helpful strategy to go with, start there. How do I combine them inside that?
So then you multiply the x four with the x seven.
And what do I get when I do that? X to the 11, yeah. What about the y's?
Pi by five, and pi by third. Pi by eight.
Now what?
By the x cubed and 11 by cubes. What would be,
Same way you did it here?
yeah, something.
What'd you get for the final one?
Square.
What about my y's?
2y cubes and a y squared.
Alright. So what do I do with this?
Three x's out. Find together the x cubed.
Okay.
Y. Y squared.
What do I have left?
X squared, y squared,
It's good, it's good inside.
inside.
Inside the root.
Could you also divide, so I divided them all into cubes first and then multiplied across.
That works too.
Okay.
So let's explore that. Cause like, people do it different ways. This one you would have broken up. And then that one you would have had,
Morning, Professor.
good morning, Jimmy, good morning good afternoon. Jimmy. And so if I did follow the same strategy here. That would have pulled out an X, these two would have come out as X's. So I have X cubed. And then that leaves behind this one, and that's it for the X's. No, I'm missing an X on. X to the fourth, and then X to this, oh, over here, missing over here. And then we pull out the Y's. The Y comes out as a Y, and this one comes out as a Y. And so I got Y squared, and then that's what's missing there too. So I have an X from the first one, a Y squared from the first one, and then another X from the second one. And then if I clean it up, I put the X's together and have X squared, Y squared. And that should have a 3 on it. That 2 really looks like it's part of the exponent or the radical. Oh yeah, find it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I downloaded all the shit and I didn't load the fucking last class up on Canvas yet. Fucking slacker teacher.
Did you update the homework due dates already for next week? There's a shit ton of work done on the 28th.
Yeah, but some of them are. I was just looking at it.
Yeah, I think it's the R5.
It's R5, R6, and R7. R5's due this week.
R5 is due next week, R6, R7 is due next week. We've been done with R5 and like R6 for a little while though.
Yeah.
So like, just cause it wasn't due, if you haven't been doing it, yeah, you got a lot of shit to catch up on. One of them, fucking says optional. So, and it even says extra credit in the name. So, keep that in mind, you do not have to do it. It is extra credit to do it. The one that says chapter R test required for support course, yeah, you guys get to do that. That's some good practice for you. And then we have 1.1 and 1.3 that we're gonna be doing today. I might even get 1.4 done today, but I probably won't make it due till the following week. Yeah, so there is quite a few, but one of them's extra credit.
Okay.
And then do we have to show work?
No, I turned off the show work on this.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to go through the chapter or the chapter one shit though. We're gonna do that in between classes. Alright, so got another one.
Did you turn off the show work for our
I
six?
can't turn off anything that where someone's already worked on it.
Okay, okay.
I don't think. I might be able to. I haven't graded them, so maybe. Maybe I can and I'll just drop it. I'll check that.
Okay.
What else did we do? We had more shit with radical, division. Oh, we'll do more than that. We'll have things multiplied. And then we'll put one on bottom too. Just to be a dick. Actually, while you guys are working on that, let me see if I can edit R6. You dirty bastards. Yeah, if someone started the problems, I can't edit it. I mean, look, if there's a math lab. Turn off show work. Your students have started it. So we're at 1.1. No one has worked ahead. Why can't I edit it? Right, I just do. Drew looks like he's still working, chiropractor looks like he's still working. Give him a little bit longer. How we doing? Okay, so what should I do?
Multiply the top first.
Okay, how do I do that?
See. And you'd combine the two numerators. X to the fifth.
So we're adding the exponents, okay. And on bottom, I still have the fourth root of x, y to the fourth, z to the sixth. Now,
Now you pull as many fours out as you can. X should be just one.
so we're going back more on the top still. So we got x to the fourth times x,
Y is equal to fourth time with. And z to the fourth and d to the bracket. Z squared.
okay,
And your remainders should be x and z squared. It'll be inside. Here's another one.
thank you. So it looks like I have an x, I've got two y's coming out. I've got two z's coming out. And I still have the fourth root of xz squared, this is on top, what about on bottom?
Okay, well,
A y can come out, so a z can come out, and what am I left with on the inside?
x z squared.
Okay, that's a good step. Now what?
Now you can
How?
the roots, the fourth root, x z squared, those cancel because they're.
They're identical, right?
Yeah, they're identical. Then you cancel a y with y squared, making it y on top. Same thing with the z,
So what's my final answer?
X, Y, Z, X times Y two.
Almost like Hefe planned that shit.
Yeah.
That's right, XYZ. I think it might have been easier had you also subtracted these. So like rather than jump into this step right here, I think you could have gone and merged these two first. And done fourth root of x to the fifth minus one. Y to the eighth minus four. And z to the 10th minus the sixth. And you would have seen fourth root of x to the fourth, y to the fourth, z to the fourth, which might have been a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that speeds things up.
Yeah, I did, I put everything under the,
Everything under the big one first,
yeah.
that definitely speeds it up. Alright. What are we gonna do here? We only did this at the end, so I don't know if anyone remembers what to do here. Does anyone remember what to do here?
You multiply by the conjugate of the denominator.
That's exactly what we do. What is the conjugate of the denominator?
Square root of x plus the square root of.
You go, Eric. We do it on bottom, we gotta do it on top. Good, you're already doing better than some of my fucking calculus students. They took their test yesterday and I'm grading it today and. Some of them are doing great and others like need to go back to algebra. Like they're doing this badly. Stuff that was easier than this, actually. They've forgotten the basics. Alright, so what does that mean? What do I do with this now that we got to this point?
Well, I use. Foil for the top.
Foil, that's really what we gotta do. So. Foil is like, that's F. First and then outside, if y'all don't know foil. It's first, outside, inside, and then last. So first is square root of x times square root of x, which would be square root of x squared. Outside is square root of x times square root of 3. Inside is negative square root of 5. Inside is these two, they're on the inside of that stuff. Times square root of x. And L is negative square root of 5 times square root of 3. So all that together is gonna give me x squared, not x squared, just x. X minus or plus square root of 3x minus square root of 5x, then minus square root of 15. What's the bottom equal?
X.
Here, squared. So what's square root of 3 squared? Because we're really doing that a squared minus b squared.
Yeah,
So it's x minus 3.
yeah.
And this one didn't have some clever setup where it cleaned up more. This is it. This is all you're getting. It's a fucking ugly answer, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. Give you guys another one. If that's pretty. Oh, cherry lemonades. Fucking warm. Fuck, Jimmy. Luis is too good for us, he won't come in early, he never does. He always fucking lingers outside, like I ain't gonna be caught dead in that motherfucking porta pots. Fuck all you all, we'll see who does better, I want you guys to kick his ass on the first exam. Fucking show him. If this isn't okay. Alright, so what did we do here?
It's 3 minus square root of 6.
So the bottom should be the first thing squared minus the second thing squared. What about the top? You FOIL here. 7 times 3
21.
is 21. Outside is 7 times negative root 6.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot we can do with that. You can't put the 7 inside, you gotta leave it outside. Inside is negative root 2 times 3. Again, I can't move the 3 inside, it's just gotta stay outside. And root 2 times root 6. I can put these two together, now I can multiply on the inside, that's root 12. And we wanna simplify that, that is square root of 4 times square root of 3. So the square root of 4 is 2. 2 root 3 for that one. And there was 2 negatives, and so they canceled out, made them positive. Alright, so that top doesn't get any cleaner than that, there's nothing you can do. This is what happens when Hefe makes up numbers as he's going. 3 squared is 9. And then square root of 6 squared is 6. So 9 minus 6 is 3. So we can break this up. We can divide 3 into the top, it doesn't always go evenly. But you gotta do it into each one. This is 21 over 3 minus 7 root 6 over 3 minus 3 root 2 over 3 plus 2 root 3 over 3. Make sure you do the 3 in each one. That will be 7 minus 7/3 root 6 minus root 2, because the 3's will cancel, plus 2/3 root 3. That's probably that simplest form then. Give it a break.